Oh,
Yay! What's going on, great people? We are back with another video. How you guys feeling? What is going on? What are we chopping it up about tonight?
so there was an epic interview between Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson, right?
Yes, I started watching.
So I saw I didn't see the interview, but I want to see it now. But I'm only going to do certain pieces of the interview when it's talking about the whole thing of when it was what happened with Ben Shapiro. And as y'all know, Ben Shapiro talked bad about her pretty much in front of at this little panel because sometimes he's left leaning, and it was an event where it looked like people were extremely shocked that he was bringing up Candace Owens' name at that event. And as y'all know, Ben Shapiro's part owner of Daily Wire, and people were saying that he was going to, fire her, but no, that wasn't the truth. But what's crazy is that people from the same pool talking about people from the same pool. We as human beings aren't going to agree on everything with each other, even if we share a lot of likeness on things from our political standpoint. But personally, I feel like that wasn't
copacetic.
It wasn't copacetic. He
No, it
shouldn't do that.
wasn't.
He shouldn't do that.
Especially about someone that, works with you, for you. He's part owner. I think that was a bad look.
I think so, too.
Especially, professional.
Oh, I agree.
Whatever your personal views about the person, you keep them to yourself, or you talk to somebody at the Daily Wire about it, whoever the other person is that owns it. I forgot what his name is.
Right.
But no, you don't do that.
So let's play this clip. I'm only doing the clip so it's talking about Ben Shapiro, and it's talking about the response of Israel. So.
Right. That's usually a tell. And speaking of, so I was out of the country yesterday and didn't have adequate access on the plane to really follow this, and I don't understand the context exactly. But the internet was dominated yesterday by video of Ben Shapiro, who you work with at the Daily Wire, I think it's fair to say, attacking you. Here's the video. I just want to get your reaction to it.
Yes, the question was about Candace Owens. I think her behavior during this has been disgraceful. Without a doubt.
How?
Yeah, she still works for my company. And I think she's been absolutely disgraceful.
Ooh.
I think that her faux sophistication on these particular issues has been ridiculous. It's not faux sophistication, it's ridiculous. Everybody can see the moves that she's making and the things that she's saying. And
What moves?
So maybe there's a point in the video where he explains what exactly you did wrong,
Right.
how you were wrong. I haven't seen it. But to call somebody, quote, absolutely disgraceful, particularly a coworker, seems like a pretty big step. And I really don't know the background here. What is that about?
Yes.
There isn't much of a background. I saw the video when everybody else saw it when I woke up.
No one warned you about it.
Nobody warned me about it. It looks like maybe he didn't know he was being recorded. It looks like
Yes.
it was some sort of a private event. I got no clarity on the issue that he was particularly speaking on. And in what was said, I can't respond to it beyond what he's saying because it's just ad hominem attacks. I don't know.
Yeah, because it's not, we
specifically-
disagree, or
Yeah.
I don't think she's correct, or maybe she doesn't know what she's talking about. It's absolutely disgraceful.
Yeah, exactly. And so I can't respond to it on a level of intellect because there's nothing that he has expressed in that, at least in that short clip, that he fundamentally disagrees with in terms of what I said. But I will say that I'm not going to respond with the same ad hominem attacks.
Yes.
I don't think
Yeah.
it helps further discussion. And if that was me that was caught on a video saying that about colleagues that I work with, I would be embarrassed. So I think that the video speaks more to Ben's character than it speaks to mine.
Has he texted you to apologize or explain or anything?
No, nothing. I haven't heard a single word. It just was sort of something that he said. And you know what? Ben and I have many disagreements, so I don't think that that's particularly something that's interesting. We disagreed on the COVID vaccine. We disagree on Ukraine and Russia. He has taken virtually every stance that has been the opposite of mine on every issue.
That's crazy.
And that's the point. And I really, really like how she's handling it.
Mm-hmm.
She says, I'm not going to respond to him in like kind.
Right.
So that shows a lot of growth and a lot about her character.
Right.
Because I don't know if I would have been able to be as cool. I would not have gone on social media and blasted him. But you better believe
You've been calling.
I sure would have. And I know I would have tagged into his tail.
And my question is, I wonder
I wouldn't
why.
have done it publicly, though.
I wonder why she says, "Okay, I'm gonna still stick with the Wire." I mean, because I agree. It's something you were talking about earlier. If she were to leave the Wire and be like Tucker, she'll extra blow up on whatever platform she decides to be on. But,
And he's only half of it. Is the other person.
she's probably locked in
Yeah,
with.
she, totally opposite.
Yeah.
And if she and Ben have never really agreed on certain things, then what makes him think that she's going to take a side or stance that he's going to agree with on anything else?
Exactly.
So I just feel like that was unprofessional and it lacked tact.
Over the last 5 years, so I don't think that that's
On the
particularly
COVID
remarkable.
vaccine. Really, I didn't remember that.
Yeah, he was pro the COVID vaccine. I was anti the vaccine. You know, we were all idiots for not getting the vaccine. So that's totally fine. I am totally open to people having a difference in opinion.
Right.
I would hope that amongst colleagues that it would always be a civil disagreement, and I would never in a private event stand on a table and talk badly about Ben.
It's
I
just a
would
little
say
weird. It's a little weird. So he was on the left on those three biggest issues of our time, is what you're saying?
he has converted his opinions. He's accepted responsibility. He said, you know, I was wrong about the vaccine.
Oh, good. Good for him.
He is, you know, obviously pro pharma. His mom's a doctor, and I say to people, I'm
Well,
very
there
aware
you go.
of my perspectives on big pharma,
Yes.
and I talk about it on my show openly. And I think that that's a tremendous credit to the Daily Wire that they allow a difference of opinions. But as I said, hope that it would remain respectful and that you wouldn't throw your colleagues under
Under
a
the
bus.
bus.
Bus, yeah.
That's
in a
right.
private
I
setting.
think that's fair. And just for clarity, because I really don't know, is he your boss? Is he?
I think there's a lot of misunderstanding about Ben's
Good
involvement.
question.
He's not the CEO of the Daily Wire. He
Yes.
is not making the day decisions of the Daily Wire. And I do want to make it very clear because people are like, how could you possibly save Daily Wire after this? I have a very good relationship with the co-CEOs of the Daily Wire. Especially right now, the acting CEO is Caleb Robinson. He's a wonderful person. He's worked very hard to be where he's at. We have a lot in common that we connect on. And so people don't get to see that, which is unfortunate. You know, Ben lives in Florida. He's not a part of the day-to-day movement of the Daily Wire. You know, the rest of the hosts have their shows situated in Nashville. So we see each other every day. We talk. There's great
in
camaraderie. And
Nashville.
there's actually more agreement. There's actually a lot of people that are, as I describe myself, just pro-America first. And I think I've been that way consistently throughout my political career. Whether people agree with it or not in different moments is up for debate. But I don't want that video to become a reflection of how the Daily Wire works and the Daily Wire operates, because I have had a very good experience with the CEOs, and, you know, love Michael Knowles, love Matt Walsh,
Yeah.
Andrew Klavan. We all get along really great.
Well, it certainly speaks well of the Daily Wire then. So it's not, I mean, a clip like that on the internet, oh, Candace Owens is out or something. That's
Yeah.
Right, that's what I was
that's
seeing.
it means at all.
Yeah, no, it's a small group of people. We see each other every day.
Right.
Brett Cooper is another one who just joined about 2 years ago. She's great. She's up and coming. And there's a lot of stuff that we're working on. And that's why I think this video is even more unfortunate, because people see him as a figurehead, rightfully so, of the Daily Wire. And it allows people to, you know, speak energy into the Daily Wire that isn't necessarily there, because he's not there on a day-to-day basis.
Okay, that's
Right.
very interesting. So if we could take 3 steps back and give us the context for this debate, how are you on different sides of it? I mean, I haven't
No.
heard you endorsing Hamas. Like, you're not. No.
Well, I have not endorsed Hamas in any way, and yet people have interpreted things that I say, or actually rather things that I don't say. It's becoming very much reminiscent to me, and why I have used my platform to say this, of Black Lives Matter,
Huh.
where if you don't say anything, they say your silence is violence. If you say something and it's even-handed and it's nuanced, which is to say, you know, during the times of Black Lives Matter, you might say, I don't support police brutality. Who
No,
does?
of
I don't support racism. Who does? But also, I think that police are a crucial part of every city. We need to have
Of course.
policing in cities. So
Absolutely.
these calls
Right.
to defund the police are immoral and wrong and are going to lead to more Black deaths. People didn't want that nuance. When following George Floyd, there was no nuance. You had to explicitly say defund the police. You had to post a black square. If you didn't post a black square on Instagram, by the way, specifically on the platform of Instagram, and you maybe were busy that day, maybe you were in another country, you know, maybe you just didn't log on to Instagram, you were accused of being a racist.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of that behavior right now when it comes to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict.
Well,
I'm sorry.
I have
know.
seen every
Oh,
single
okay.
person, including myself, condemn what happened on October 7th. Because who wouldn't condemn terrorism? It's
Right.
obvious. Who would not condemn innocent Israelis dying? But if you then say that it is also sad when an innocent Palestinian child dies, suddenly this is pro-Hamas, or you need to say, even when you're talking about how sad it is that a child dies, you need to button that statement by saying, but that child was a human shield. That's not going to be my response. First off, as a mother, that's not going to be my response as somebody who's about to give birth. When I see these images of children
Yes.
Right.
involved on both sides of the conflict, I've pointed to the people that are mocking dead Israeli children and said that they are horrific. I am even keel on this matter, and yet people think that you need to be extreme. So people that have become more radical and extreme are perceiving a moderate stance as not enough. And
Because I was about to
taking
say,
it
you
hard.
don't. People can disagree with you or agree with you or whatever, but you certainly don't seem radical on this stuff.
No,
It's
not at
definitively
all.
not radical. My stance has not changed in terms of whether or not America should be involved in this conflict. Whether we were talking about Afghanistan, my comments have been clear. They've been documented for years. Whether we are talking about Ukraine and Russia, my comments have been clear and they have been documented. I mean, you can go back to me even talking about NATO expansion before things erupted between Russia and Ukraine, and having a meaningful discussion about how much expansion is too much expansion. How would we feel if we had troops on our border? These are things.
See, and she's been calm about the whole situation. It was more like Megyn Kelly and them over there that were kind of like go in, like get on the students are creating acts of violence that are going to start war, you know, blah blah. She was always more like cool about it. Like, weren't you a protester like when you were in college? Weren't you trying to stand up for something when you were in college? So her take has really been chill on it, and I don't know what side she takes on it more. So because neither side is good. Neither side is good.
That's pretty much, I feel like, what she's saying. That's what she's explaining about, babies are dying on both sides of the spectrum, so ain't nobody winning.
That's right.
And that's what she's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things that should be allowed in an academic discussion. You should be able to sit on stage and should be able to debate these ideas without using ad hominem attacks to say that you're a pro-Putin puppet or you're pro-terrorism. Even in the aftermath of 9/11, something that we all remember as part of my childhood. I think I was in 7th grade at the time, and I'm born in the New York City area, so this was a very big deal. If a person the day after 9/11 wanted to debate the Patriot Act, it's not fair to call them terrorist sympathizers. No, actually, they would have been proven right in the long run. That act, we give up a lot of our freedoms, and I think there was only one congressman, a Republican, that was against the Patriot Act at that time. So it's important, actually, when you start making decisions in a highly emotional time, that people sit down and have these academic debates.
That's right.
And there are people that are saying, no, it doesn't matter because people are dead, that you need to just choose a side, and that needs to be it. It needs to become tribal.
Well, there it is.
Yeah, I the more that I've watched her and followed some of the stories, and I look at her podcast and zoom in. Yeah, I really like how she stands up and how 98% of the content that she puts out there, I can definitely understand and I may agree with. And I just like how she moves in her character. That's what I like. I like how she handles situations. Even on the stage with the college student.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That famous quote that blew up. Put on a helmet, boo. I'm just like, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she knows her stuff. She thinks she's going to do the homework. She's going to give you facts.
Yeah.
And she doesn't care if you like it, you agree with it, you support it. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm a fan of that part. And the only side I ever see her taking more of an emotional side too is when it's dealing with doing something with the kids and people trying the kids in a certain kind of way. So I like what she was saying on her stance. I like the neutral stance because at first, like I told you in our previous video, that because we believe in Jesus, we automatically think we're supposed to go for Israel. But then you come to find out
ain't nobody winning.
I'm going,
and you got to go all the way back.
Look, that's why I said I'm going for Jesus. I'm not going picking a side over in that country. I'm going for Jesus. Jesus will God'll deal with that over there. But that ain't my calling. I'm not Jewish. I'm not Israeli. Nor am I Palestinian. So my standpoint is real neutral in it. To stay back, and I'm gonna tell you about Jesus, but I can't tell you about what's fighting over here and this over there and that over there. Because soon as I open my mouth about that, people get offended on either side, especially on the Palestinian side. So I'm like, I'd rather being truthful, which I don't even know how to address either one of those. That's not my war.
And I think people, it needs to be a clear understanding, but you really have to go way back.
Yeah.
You really have to go, way back.
Right.
To get the base root
of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She did a good job, man. That's the answer that I was looking out, because this is the first time me seeing that topic being addressed from the standpoint versus you seeing a tweet here and a tweet there. And now you see the opinion in its neutral essence, and it's just like how it was tweeted to me personally.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it on this one. That's it, man. Go ahead and leave them to the water, baby.
All right, great people. This was really, really good. You definitely get some points on character, how to respond, how to ignore, and what not to do in a situation like your boy Ben did. I really, truly admire how she's moving. And shout out to you, Candace Owens. Keep it up, sis. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Share the video. Like it if you're finding value in this content. You want to see more content that's going to make you think for yourself. Come back.
We'll see you on the next one.
See you on the next video.
Yeah.